So good morning to all. Good morning.
Good morning.
To all the participants of FIP 16.
Morning, sir.
Myself, Bipul Kumar Sharma, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, Udalguri College, Udalguri. So I am the day officer for today, and I am very grateful to HRDC team, Kumaun University, Nainital, for giving me the chance to act as day officer for today. So, sorry, this sir.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. A very good morning to all of you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Hello, it is sir.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Second last day of your course.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Am I audible?
जी महोदय आवाज आ रही है आप
Okay, so Bipul ji is today on the driving seat of this faculty induction program 16.
Am I audible,
ji,
sir?
hello.
Hello.
Yes, you are audible, Bipul ji. Today.
But there are some network
I
issues.
Okay, no problem. I hope you have finalized the name for feedback. Your course is finalized. आप लोगों ने 4 नाम चुन लिए हैं. मेरी आवाज आ रही है आप तक?
Yes, sir.
वो आपने शेयर प्लीज डू शेयर इट विथ मी. मुझे शेयर कर दीजिए वो.
सर पर्सनली शेयर करने हैं आपको?
हाँ, मेरे को पर्सनली मैसेज कर दीजिएगा या ग्रुप में भी डाल दीजिएगा जहां भी आप भेजना चाहें. ठीक है?
ठीक है सर.
डाल दीजिएगा तो क्योंकि कल हमारा वैलिडेटरी सेशन होगा. मैंने आपको एक गूगल का फीडबैक फॉर्म दिया था, आप लोगों ने भर दिया है. बहुत अच्छी बात है. कल मैं आपको कोर्स फीडबैक फॉर्म भी शेयर करूंगा. ठीक है? तो उस कोर्स फीडबैक फॉर्म में आपने अपने कोर्स के बारे में आपने बताना है. हाउ आर यू फीलिंग एवरी डे या डेली फीडबैक फॉर्म. लेकिन एक कोर्स फीडबैक होगा. इट इज ऑल अबाउट योर कोर्स की कौन से सेशंस आपको अच्छे लगे, कौन से नहीं लगे, कुछ सजेशंस आपके हैं. तो इस तरह से जो भी आपको अपना व्यू देना है, अपना इंडिविजुअल फीडबैक देना है, दैट गिव इट थ्रू गूगल दैट फीडबैक फॉर्म, कोर्स फीडबैक फॉर्म, राइट. और जो आप 4 लोग आपने जो चुने हैं वो सबके बिहाफ पे एक कॉमन फीडबैक देंगे. कॉमन फीडबैक कम सजेशन. अगर आपको लगता है जहाँ भी हैं तो यू आर मोस्ट वेलकम. वी आर ओपन फॉर सजेशंस. क्योंकि कोई भी अपने आप में पूरा नहीं होता, हर एक में कमियां होती है. ठीक है? तो उन कमियों को दूर करना सबकी जिम्मेदारी होती है. तो उनको भी हमें दूर करना है. अगर कुछ है तो जरूर बताइएगा. हमें बहुत खुशी होगी अगर आप हमें कुछ ऐसा सुझाव देंगे तो. ठीक है? So today's resource person, Dr. Manu Vora sir has joined us. Namaskar sir, good morning sir. A very warm welcome to you sir.
Yeah.
For you it's good evening sir, but here
Good
in
morning.
India it's
Good morning. Yes.
very warm greetings from here sir.
Thank you.
Tomorrow we are going to complete this program as well, and we are really fortunate to have you here.
Thank you.
Sir has a great concern about India and the people of India, and he is a person who want to give it back to the citizens of the country of India. So thank you very much, sir, for the feeling and the work you are doing. And so what very important thing that UGC says, the teachers of higher education are agent of social change. So they have that immense power and immense potential to do that. And in this course, we have asked them to prepare an action research program on which they can do some contribution towards the society.
Sure.
And we are fortunate to have your session today. And sir is going to deliver a talk on community service for nation building. And after his presentation, I will share his PPT with you. So today, sir will give you some another directions in which you can serve our country in a much better way. So, sir, if you permit us, with your permission, I'd like to request our day officer for today, Dr. Bipul Kumar, uh, to please start the proceedings, because in the morning session we just have a look of yesterday's program, because yesterday was Sunday, there was holiday. On Saturday, what we did, there will be a small recap of that, and he will share a thought of the day. We start the program with good thought, so that we can inculcate some good values throughout the day. So, with
Sure.
your permission, shall I start, sir?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much, sir. So, Vipulji, I request you to please share a thought of the day, and please invite Saturday's reporter to read out the report, and after, please introduce sir and request him to start his session. Over to Vipulji.
Okay, sir. Good morning, sir. Vora sir, good evening.
Yeah. Good evening. And good morning to all
So,
of you.
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So, thought of the day: you cannot change your future, but you can change your habits, and surely your habits will change your future. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So now, I request Sorojit Singh sir to present the day report of 25th of March 2023. Sorojit sir, please present your report.
विपुल सर, मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
Yeah. Okay, sir.
सभी को नमस्कार। मैं FIP 16 की तरफ से 25/3/2023 का रिपोर्ट आपके सामने रखना चाहता हूं। उस दिन डे ऑफिसर थे सोमनाथ राय जी, और सिमी इकबाल मैम ने FIP 15 की तरफ से रिपोर्ट रखी थी 24 तारीख की। विनोद बिश्नोई सर ने FIP 16 की तरफ से रिपोर्ट रखी थी सेम 24 तारीख की। उस दिन हमारा पहला सेशन प्रोफेसर आनंद वर्धन शर्मा सर के साथ था, जिन्होंने इनोवेशंस एंड बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस इन टीचिंग एंड लर्निंग के बारे में हम की। उन्होंने बताया लेक्चर हमेशा से एक बहुत अच्छी तकनीक रही है। बहुत सारे लोगों के बीच में अपनी किए हैं और क्रिएटिविटी को यूज किया है। सर का पूरा फोकस इस बात पे था कि कैसे लेक्चर को यूनिडायमेंशनल से बदल कर इंगेजिंग बनाया जाए, और किस तरह से क्रिएटिविटी के तरह तरह के टूल्स यूज करके लर्निंग की प्रोसेस को हम आसान बच्चों के लिए, विद्यार्थियों के लिए बना सके। इसके लिए सर ने कुछ सजेशंस दिए थे, जैसे हम नाटक अपनी पूरी क्लास में बातचीत को प्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं, हम ICT टूल्स का इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं, हम सेशन का महत्व है।
सर, आपका साउंड आ नहीं रही है सर।
सॉरी जीत, आपकी आवाज वॉइस ब्रेक हो रही है। Okay, what we'll do?
हेलो
जीत,
सर।
आपकी आवाज नहीं आ
Sorry,
रही है
sir.
अभी तक। प्लीज चेक योर नेटवर्क, या दूसरा कनेक्शन आप इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं। सॉरी जीत, आप सुन पा रहे हैं? ओके, व्हाट विल डू विपुल जी, हम उनसे कोर्स जब सेशन पूरा हो जाएगा तो उसके बाद उनको बोलिएगा कि उसके बाद वो करने का, कि उनका नेटवर्क
ओके सर।
नहीं आ रहा है। ही इज फेसिंग सब नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लम, एंड दैट इज बियॉन्ड कंट्रोल उनके लिए भी, और हम उसको पॉसिबल नहीं है। सो विदाउट वेस्टिंग टाइम, आई वुड लाइक टू रिक्वेस्ट यू विपुल जी, प्लीज इंट्रोड्यूस इन ब्रीफ, एंड बिकॉज सर हैज ऑलरेडी डिलीवर्ड two very important sessions earlier also. So please introduce him, welcome him, and request him to start his session. Vipul ji, please.
Okay, sir. Thanks, sir. So now I am going to give a brief introduction of Professor Manu Vora, sir. So Dr. Manu Vora is Chairman and President of Business Excellence Incorporated, a global quality management consulting firm. He has over 48 years of leadership experience and has guided Fortune 500 companies with well-reached performance excellence assessment. For over 30 years, as an adjunct professor, he teaches operation management courses at business schools globally. He has contributed at over 600 educational institutes worldwide. He is a sought-after speaker on business excellence and quality management topics with over 1,260 presentations globally in 36 countries across 5 continents, and published over 75 scholarly articles. He has published over 50 blog posts on quality management. In 2013, he gave 2 TEDx talk at IIT Banaras Hindu University and at IIT Chicago. Since 2013, he has delivered soft skills and quality management topics using technology over 680 colleges and universities globally, benefiting over 1.1 million students, faculties, and professionals. In 2016, he has delivered a project management for organizational excellence, a GIAN course approved by Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India, at his alma mater, IIT Banaras Hindu University. In 2016, he was appointed as Fulbright specialist by the US Department of State and completed his first Fulbright specialist project at IIT Banaras Hindu University in March 2018. He has completed BTech honors in chemical engineering from IIT Banaras Hindu University in 1968. He completed MS in 1970 and PhD in 1975 in chemical engineering from Illinois Institute of Technology, Chicago. He has also completed MBA in 1985 in marketing management from Keller Graduate School of Management in Chicago. As the founder, director, and president of Blind Foundation for India, he raised over $6 million to help over 2 million visually impaired adults and children in India. He received NRI of the Year Award in 2018 in Philanthropy from Times Now and ICICI Bank in Mumbai, India. He served on AICTE NEP 2020 Implementation Plan Committee in 2020. Sir receives 660 awards and honors for his outstanding professional service, including Fulbright Specialist appointment from the US Department of State. He received 40 awards, honors for his lifelong community service, including US President's Volunteer Service Award. In March 2022, he was recognized for his in education and healthcare by the World Book of Records, United Kingdom. In 2023, he was included in Jewels of India, Volume 2 book, showcasing 75 Indo-American personalities in the USA. In 1968, he received J.N. Tata Scholarship in India to pursue his graduate work in the US. So, we welcome you, sir, to this party, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Bipul Kumar ji, for very kind introduction. Special thanks to Dr. Ritesh ji for inviting me back with the group here. And very good morning to all of you. It's a delight to be with you again. And let's make it very interactive session like last time. And this is a very, very important topic for all of us as a faculty, as a citizen of India as well, that how do we give back to our motherland? Because people do so much for us. We have to take time to reflect and find opportunities to give back wherever we can. And a small gesture done by every individual collectively will reach to a big contribution for the nation building. So let me begin the presentation at this point. And we'll definitely would like to learn what you people are doing at your institute. And we can have exchange of ideas, learn from each other, and make a commitment that we'll do something for others in the community. I trust you are able to see the title slide, please confirm.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It is
sir.
visible, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very- Thank you. Thank you. And I would request everybody to go on a mute at this point so there is no disturbance in the recording. So here is a brief outline. We'll begin with what are the key benefits of performing the community service. I'll share with you some good practices both in India and the US and show you the potential of what can be done if we put our head together and engage our students and faculties in community service. And that will require a simple project structure. And I'll walk you through some of these simple template like project charter, what is its importance, and what kind of project report one can make on community service itself. Then we'll segue into some of the good motivational quotes. And a major part of the presentation will focus on sharing mode. My personal community service almost last 6 decades, and specifically coming into US in 1968. I'll talk about various other projects I've undertaken, and it's a real delight to do something for others. We'll have a couple of short YouTubes for making excellent points, summarize it, and like last time, please keep note of 2 key takeaways from the session, because listening to the lecture is fine, but unless we take away certain things by learning about the new topic, the effort will be incomplete. So please pay attention and we'll discuss some of the key takeaways, at least one from most of you. So let's begin with what are the benefits of the community service. Now, this comes from the person, a former President Jimmy Carter of the US President, Nobel laureate. He started a group called Habitat for Humanity, where they build low-income housing for people who have no shelter, and they give it away to them on a need basis. So the community service gives us a chance to connect back to the community and understand what's happening in the community and how can we help others in need. It also improves the career's prospect by building up experience and skills such as communication, planning, working in team, effective problem solving, managing the task, etc. Community service raises the social awareness by broadening our horizon to understand the needs of the society and the population we are trying to help. Now, you develop a lot of contacts and make friends while you are working on the community service activities. And it definitely helps us to improve our own skills. So the students, when they do the community service, they can get work-related knowledge and the skills, including the time management, and they can get experience with how to take the leadership role, decision making, time management, teamwork, taking initiative, etc. And it will improve their chances of getting a job because they are involved in the community service and they can get good references while they are working on the project, working with the adults in the community. So this is a win-win situation. And keep in mind, when God has sent us to this world, there is an expectation that you will not only take care of yourself and your family and this, but you will worry about or you will take care of the others in surrounding area and the community, those who are in need. So that's one obligation I think we should all keep in mind. Now here I'm sharing with you one example. I've been fortunate to teach at the Great Lake Institute of Management since 2006 to 2016. I used to come once a year, a 1-week program at the Great Lake Institute of Management near Mahabalipuram, around 60 kilometers away from the city of Chennai. So right from the beginning, for the MBA students, a compulsory course has been introduced in the curriculum called Karma Yoga course, and it's a mandatory requirement for graduation. So throughout the year, with the 20 plus villages they've adopted close to the campus, students are bused every Sunday. They spend good bit of the Sunday in the villages, work with the community, and work on a very specific focused projects such as water, irrigation, agriculture, health, education, waste management, etc. Whatever is the need of the village and the community, they will work on a project in a team. They write up the report and then they share it with the faculty, and it's required to be for the graduation. So it's a wonderful model, and I believe later on we'll look at the recommendation I'm making that community service should become the compulsory requirement for getting a degree or a diploma. Now, if we segue into USA side, in the high schools and colleges, for students to get admission in good schools here, during the high school years, 4 years, standard 8 through 12, students are encouraged to do the community service, which is one of the number of components needed along with the academic scholarship, doing the good test scores, etc. Community service is one of the major component also considered in the application process. And including the graduate and postgraduate admissions, they look for a candidate must have done some good community service so that when they enter the campus, they can continue to support others and form good relationship and continue that journey in giving back. As an example, my both sons, each one did 300 to 400 hours during 4 years in the high school. Every Saturday morning, instead of sleeping late, they will have to get up and for a couple of hours, 2 to 3 hours every Saturday morning during the year, they will be either at the local hospital or a local library or a soup kitchen, giving their volunteer service on a pro bono basis, no money involved. And these things help to get into the best university one can get in. So elder son went to Stanford and then Northwestern for MBA. Younger one went to UC Berkeley and then 1 year sabbatical at London School of Economics. So doing the community service served them well. And they were able to communicate well with the adults and able to manage their time and learn the leadership skills by doing the community service. So these are the number of benefits when we extend ourselves to help others. And specifically, it's very important to mold our next generation, the youth, to think about helping others right from the high school level into all higher education institute, etc. And this is where the faculty can play a very big role, being the mentor, being the leader to guide them into how to do this kind of community service project to help the nation. This is a very important and interesting slide. So what I'm suggesting here is every weekend during 8 months when the university or the colleges are in session, if they provide 2 hours per week, 32 weeks, 8 months, it can amount to 64 hours of community service per year per student. And with about 250 million students in higher education institutes throughout India, it will amount to 16 billion hours of community service available. And even in the faculty side, it will get into about 1.26 million faculties, same amount of 64 hours per year. It will add up to 80.6 million hours. And this is a huge untapped potential for nation building. We need to make sure that we start thinking in this direction. How do we engage the students and faculties to provide a little bit of their time to uplift the society and the nation? And it should be, as I mentioned earlier, compulsory requirement for getting their degrees. At each of the higher education institute, relevant projects can be developed based on their specific needs in the community. And there are many areas, and I'm just bringing it up as an example: education, healthcare, water, sanitation, agriculture, waste management, etc. So what this will help is students begin to work on real projects, understand how the projects can be developed, how the projects will be run, how it will be concluded, and what kind of benefits and the results the projects can bring for the community and ultimately help in nation building. Extremely important concepts, simple solution, 16 billion plus hours we can have. If you all make up the mind at the national level that this is the critical thing, we need to engage the youth and the faculty in doing the community service. So in order to do this effectively, I'm proposing a simple project structure. So there should be a faculty to be appointed as a champion per each higher education institute based on their expertise and experience, good track record of getting the results, and they should have the can-do attitude and a willing volunteer. Now, doing the work with the ICT NEP 2020 implementation plan back in October of 2020, I had suggested that we are neglecting alumni in the process, and we need to bring in the industry expert as well. And when faculty works with the alumni and the industry experts, there would be good resources to be brought in for community service projects in all different directions. The industry people can help with the CSR resources through their own company and their contacts. And then we have to use project management technique to do the quarterly review of the community service project, make sure that the progress is happening as per plan, and then share the outcome of the community service project, results at the institute, and recognize high achievers, which will bring more momentum to this kind of activity. So having a structure and a system in place, this thing can be repeated again and again, and new projects can be concluded. And it's very satisfying proposition that you've done something concrete, help the society to solve the fundamental issues and the problems. It is not the government which will solve all the problems. We as a responsible citizens, if we pitch in and give the helping hand, it can make a tremendous difference. I want to take a couple of slides and then we will have a good bit of interaction because this is the crux of the matter for this presentation. Now I want to bring in the project charter importance, and then I'll share with you a sample I use in my project management classes I've been teaching. So project charter, and I'm not sure that everybody in the audience is using the project charter. If you are not, please pay extra attention, because whenever you do a project, a need for project charter is critical, because it's a blueprint which will allow you to have a complete plan and allow you to take the actions on the project under consideration. It gives you enough information so that you can make fact-based decision making. It will identify all the stakeholders. It will allow you to focus on what's the vision and mission of the project. It will require you to put together the objectives, the deliverables, and the milestones. Now, a project means something unknown. You have not done it before. First time activity, that means unknown means there is a risk. So you need to start identifying the risk up front when you are planning on the project, and then prioritize the risk as a high, medium, low, and then focus on the high risk to make sure that none of those risks become material. Otherwise, the project will be derailed before completion. And it will require good communication strategy for the project with the internal and external stakeholders. And once the charter is signed off by the project team leader and the project sponsor, the scope of the project will be frozen. That means whatever is in the scope, within the scope of the project, within the boundary of the project, will be worked upon, and no extra will be done. Kindly go on a mute, please. Thank you. Can we make everybody to be going on a mute?
Nagesh sir, please mute.
Because if people keep opening the microphone at this stage when there is no interaction, it is difficult. So please, everybody cooperate and have your microphone muted, please. And simple thought is always insist on a project charter for every project. Unless you have a project charter, chances are good that you may not be able to complete the project as you plan or as you wish to be completed. So here is the project charter's a sample template. It's a 2-page template. I use this for last 15 years as a course I teach at Northwestern University here, School of Professional Studies. Starting next Tuesday, my new session, the 15th year session, is starting, and I have about 13 students who are already signed up. So for each team, they're required to prepare a project charter for the project they have chosen to work upon within the team setting. So general project information, what's the project team, who is the project manager, team members, their roles. So there will be one leader, that's a project manager, one communicator, one researcher, one editor for the report, one editor for presentation material, etc. And here we have small classes, so 4 to 5 students per team, who are the stakeholders who are going to be impacted by the project scope statement, what's the purpose, what's the justification from the business point of view, and what's the project vision and the mission, objectives, measurable outcomes of the project, deliverables, high level, which will be created at the conclusion of the project. Excuse me. Scope means what will be inside the boundary of the project for which work will be done and nothing will be touched outside the boundary. Project milestones, very specific with the date, then identifying all risk, about 5 to 6 risks for a given project, and then classifying them by prioritizing high, medium, low, any constraints, any external dependencies, and they have to create a communication strategy, who is going to do what, when, and how. And then it gets signed off by the executive sponsor, project manager, etc. So this kind of sample template can allow a very focused plan right up front when the planning is getting done by the team for a given project. It's very, very critical to do it the right way to get the success on the project. And incidentally, the research shows that only 25 to 30% of the projects worldwide are successful, rest fail. One of the problem is when you don't have a proper project charter, chances of failure are very high. And I delivered a faculty development program back in 2021, where 16 highest level leaders, the vice chancellor, director, principal level, were coming in from 8 different institutes in 4 different states of India. And they worked on a community service project for their institute 1-year plan. And these are the components they put together and created a project report which was graded and feedback was given. So this is a wonderful resource. If you do want to do the community service project, you can use this as a resource. And this is in the presentation, so Dr. Ritesh will share it right after the conclusion of my talk. So at this point, I'm going to stop sharing, and let's have a very good interaction in terms of what you do and what can be learned from each other. So if you have a question or a comment, just raise your hand and we'll take it forward. One person at a time. And what I would like to know is, first, do you have a community service requirement at your institute? Do you do anything special you want to share? This is the time to speak up, please. Anyone? And definitely I'm looking for volunteers to help us to make it interesting.
Hello, sir.
Yes, go ahead, Professor Boro.
Yes, sir. Sir, we have been running a non-profit organization since 2018. And
Okay.
all the members are from different fields. Some of them are lawyers, some of them are PhD holders. And sir, we actually are looking forward to collaboration with some other organizations because all of us are new in this field. So we don't know what to do, how to approach to the local stakeholders or well-wishers. So could you give us some ideas about collaboration and all?
Yeah. Yeah, I think one thing you want to do is which part of India you have the institute at?
Sir, Assam.
Assam, okay.
Yes, sir, Indo-Bhutan border.
Okay. And what you can do is form the team, a faculty and number of students who are interested to go around the community. So there are 2 things I want to share. One is how do you go about doing it? And secondly, on the collaboration. Because once you select the project, then you can start identifying with whom you can collaborate for help to take your project forward. So identifying the project is very important for you to have a faculty along with the students to visit the community outside your campus and find out what the real needs are, what they're struggling with, what can you do to help them, and what help they are looking for. Because working on the real problem to solve real difficult issues, this is where the community service should be targeted, rather than doing something in general with no impact to the community. which is only for your satisfaction, not for benefiting the community. So that's a step number one. Once you identify various projects, not just one project, then you look for additional partners who could be helpful to work on those projects. So one of the biggest resource you can tap is the industry in your area, where they have the CSR funding. And I was reading some report which says the major focus is on education, healthcare, and rural development only. Rest of the projects are not getting any traction, not getting much money at all. So you need to raise the awareness with your corporate partners that if this is a real project, this is where the needs of the society are. Why don't we work on this project? And we begin with the small funding. It generally is not the money, it's the manpower which is the most important to work on a specific project and make it successful, bring the good results, then publicize it heavily, let people know that this is what the student and faculty team did, and it will motivate them to do more, and it'll continue to solve the real challenges faced by the society and the community around the institute. And this is the real need. Grassroots effort needs to be started at all higher education institute. I hope it helps you, Professor Boro, to at
Yes,
least
sir.
a few steps in the right direction.
So we have planted 2,000 plants during lockdown.
Very nice. Yeah. And it will bring in a lot of good values down the road. So it's a long-term commitment and long-term investment. Very good. I think number of people, thank you. You can go on mute. You're already muted. Number of people have raised hand. I saw Professor Banerjee. You raised your hand. So unmute and ask your question, please. And then Dr. Gopal Ram.
जी
Dr.
सर
Banerjee. Yeah, okay. Go ahead, Dr. Gopal Ram.
सर मेरा एक प्रश्न आपसे ये है कि जो अभी वर्तमान में जो प्राइवेट जो यूनिवर्सिटियां खुल रही हैं उसके दूरगामी परिणाम क्या होंगे? जिस तरह से पैसों में डिग्री खरीदी जा रही है यहाँ पर भारत में, या विशेषकर हमारे उत्तराखंड में भी काफी प्राइवेट यूनिवर्सिटियां हैं और मेरे एक दो परिचित भी हैं, वो पैसों में पीएचडी कर रहे हैं कोई, तो उसका कल को क्या दुष्परिणाम होंगे या क्या उसका दूरगामी प्रभाव पड़ेंगे शिक्षा पर सर?
I think it's very, very unfortunate. And one report I have seen published in India Today, a little bit dated in 2018, that when survey was done, only 7% of the engineers can do the real engineering work. 93% are not capable of doing basic engineering work, which speaks about the things you are talking about, people buying the degree by giving the money up to the PhD level. So it's a fake thing going on, and that is destroying the fabric. And we have to get away from that mentality that you just give the money and buy the degree, which doesn't do well anything for you. It doesn't give you any skills. And when you enter the workforce with the fake degree, people will catch up with you very quickly. So it's hurting you personally, your family, industry, and the nation. So this practice needs to be cracked down and stopped as quickly as we can. And this is where I think the government has to pay attention and close down those fake institutions which are granting phony degrees to people who have done nothing. And since they have the money, they can buy the degree, which is degrading the education. And it's a sad thing. I hope at least you get the gist of it. I don't think individually we can do much. One thing we can do individually is not to fall in that trap to become the recipient of those kind of degrees. And secondly, speak up when you see this kind of behavior to the higher authorities, and let them take some actions as appropriate and hold them accountable. I would leave it at that. Any others? Dr. Banerjee had a question. I don't know whether he's still there and has a question. Thank you, Dr. Ram. Okay, any other questions, comments, thoughts? And let's have a few other examples, what you do at your institute, specifically in the community service area. It's a very quiet group. Last time we had lots of interaction. This time, somehow, I don't see the similar interactions coming in. So please speak up.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Sir, I think many of the colleges take initiative, they are adopting 5 panchayats or village from the premise the college as part of UBA project from the that is the initiative of the Minister of Government.
Yeah.
Also promote the social work from the higher education part.
Yes, no, I think it's a good effort. Those who are doing it, hats off to them. And those who are not doing it, they should take the inspiration from the institute where good work is happening. And the key is to keep promoting it through local media, social media, so others get a chance to learn from the good practices. And this is where I think we can do better. A lot of time there are pockets of excellence, good things are happening, but nobody knows about it. Those remain the best kept secret. So that secret needs to be shared for the benefiting the others by writing up short stories, putting it in the newspaper, finding the right channels in the media, TV, social media, etc., and keep promoting them because it will bring in goodwill for the institute, as well as others will get a chance to learn from the good practices you are doing. So thank you, Professor Catherine, for sharing it. Thank you. Any additional thoughts? Looking for a few more volunteers, please.
You can also share your work that you have already conducted during this course period, that on the Sundays you have work upon the Excel research program, so that you can share with us, so sir can give you some insight so that you can work on that project after completing this program. You can continue it further.
Yeah, 1 or 2 volunteer to recap what you have done will be great.
Yes, Preeti madam, आप ही बोलिए.
Hello sir, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Sir, मैंने एक pledge start किया है on behalf of our college botany department to save nesting of sparrows. As we see, we have destruction in their destruction of habitat leads to their nesting habitat loss. So I just in the WhatsApp group I shared messages to कि उनके nests वगैरह को protect करना, उनके feeders install करना, bird nest install करना, and I just made bird nests and distributed in my neighborhood to start a chain. This was my project.
No, I think it's a great idea, and wish you a lot of success, because we have to look around and see what the issues are and what can we do to tackle that one at a time. And each one of us are capable of doing it. It's just learning from those who have done good things, get the inspiration and get started. Nobody can hold you back once you start in it. And once you see a good success, you will be motivated to do more. So thank you, Dr. Preeti ji. Thanks for sharing.
Sir,
One more example. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, I'm also a NSS program officer at my college. So every year we एक गोद ग्राम लेते हैं हम लोग, and we go there and provide some services like free dental camps or free medical checkup, or help the villagers. We veterinary services, veterinary doctors, we take there to visit there.
Nice.
And,
Yeah, because
and
that,
every 7-day camp भी लगाते हैं सर हम लोग
nice,
in a village.
nice.
7-day
Yeah.
camp.
Healthcare is very critical because people who are poor, they have no access to the healthcare. So anything you can do that will help them a lot. Thank you, Dr. Pritiji. One more volunteer.
Hello, sir.
I'd like to share one of
Sir,
my
namaskar.
Hello.
Tananji,
Yes, sir.
let me share, then after you can share that. Sir, I'd like to
Okay, sir.
with the team of students, what we do, we clean the lake, because Nainital has a very beautiful lake, but the people coming from outside and the locals, they litter. So we clean the lake on Sundays, and especially on birthday. So the person who is having his or her birthday, so after that, after cleaning the lake, he or she gives a treat. So it's a birthday treat with cleaning of lake. So now we have a good number of students, and we are cleaning the lake, and along that, in the month of monsoon, we plant trees also.
Very
With our
good.
students only.
Excellent. So Upadhyay ji, you have a question or a comment, so go ahead. Come in, Narayan ji.
सर नमस्कार, मैं आसाम से
नमस्कार।
बोल रहा हूँ, और मैं जिस कॉलेज में पढ़ाता हूँ, वो कॉलेज मेरा कॉलेज एक गांव को एडॉप्ट किया है, और वहां जाके हेल्थ केयर, पानी के बारे में, एग्रीकल्चर के बारे में जाके कम्युनिकेशन करते हैं, वहाँ कम्युनिटी के साथ बातचीत करते हैं। और कल भी गए थे सर, अब तो मैं छुट्टी में हूँ, लेकिन मैंने व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में देखा, कल जाके हेल्थ के संबंधी में वो लोग ने कुछ किया था सर, एडॉप्ट किया है एक गांव।
Nice.
और सर,
I think this becomes a lifelong relationship.
जी सर, अब तो ये एनईपी में ये कंपल्सन भी है क्या सर? अभी एनईपी में तो करना ही है ये सर, न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में शायद।
Definitely. See, I think what we need to do is think about what can be done to uplift the nation. Education is not just remembering facts or mugging up the information, vomit in the classroom, but take that education you learn, what you learn in the education, apply it in the real sense for the helping the community, because ultimately community should benefit from those who are getting the good education, where government is spending a lot of money. It's the taxpayers' money, of course, but that money should be wisely used, not just to become rich individually, but give back at least part of your time and energy and effort, so that others in the society also benefit simultaneously. And that will serve you well on both sides. So that's where I will leave it. Professor Mantu, you have a question? Go ahead.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
My name is Mantu Kolita.
Yeah.
My college name is Udalguri College from Assam. Sir, our college adopted 5 villages, and teachers and also students still are willing to go to different villages and to find out the backward things. Still, sir.
And
our professor also went there, and students also went there to the 5 villages at the backward things, sir.
Okay. And what kind of projects they work upon?
So students and teachers also together collaboratively, sir. They are trying to find out the medical ground and the economical background and different things, sir.
Okay. And how long is this effort going on?
I think, sir, 2 months. It will be long 2 months, sir.
2 months. Yeah. Yeah, make sure that this is a longer term project, not just one time deal, because the benefit will be for doing it on a sustained basis for a long time. So it will help the community to get all the knowledge and the expertise from your faculty, from your students. So yeah, please keep that in mind. Thank you, Dr. Mantu. Dr. Sujan
Thank you,
Sinha,
sir.
come in. Yeah,
Good morning, sir. I'm Sujan Sinha from Kolkata.
good morning.
Sir, as a member of the NSS committee of college, who every year students in the from rural areas, from slum. The last year we go to Purulia, Ajanta Pahar, and collecting the plastics from the jungle. And our students they go to the rural areas and taking some classes for the child.
Nice.
We try some these type of community service.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Dr. Tandon, please come in.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
I'm from Chhattisgarh state, sir. So I just wanted to share my experience, sir. Actually, I wanted to thank HRDC team for giving us Action Research as one of the best initiative. Actually, we have taken this step very seriously, sir. During this induction program, we heard that people are very aware about so many things, but we never taken as a consciousness. Means हम लोग संवेदनशील नहीं हैं. तो इसी से रिलेटेड मैंने एक भी एक्शन रिसर्च के रूप में काम किया सर, जिसमें मैंने टारगेट किया कि हम सभी जानते हैं कि मोबाइल के एक्सेस यूज से वो मिस यूज में कन्वर्ट हो जा रहा है. तो इसी से रिलेटेड मैंने अभी डोर टू डोर अपने जो प्रीमाइसेस जहाँ पे मैं रहता हूँ वहाँ पे लोगों से मैंने मिला और इवन पेरेंट्स से और बच्चों से बात किया. तो बच्चों का कहना ये था कि उनके पेरेंट्स उससे लगभग मतलब अगर हम 24 आवर्स की बात करें डे और नाइट मिला के पर डे की, तो मुश्किल से उनके पेरेंट्स 2 या 3 घंटे उनके साथ रहते हैं और उन 2 से 3 घंटे में भी उनके पेरेंट्स लगभग आधे घंटे भी उनके साथ फिजिकली इन्वॉल्व नहीं होते. तो मेरा मोटिव यही था सर कि हमें अब बच्चों को स्टेप ये लेना है वो डिजिटल प्ले से फिजिकल प्ले की ओर जाए. और लास्ट 4 संडे मैंने उनके साथ इन्वॉल्व किया और कल का सिचुएशन ऐसा था कि सर मैं बच्चों के साथ जब आउटसाइड खेल रहा था तो उन सभी पेरेंट्स वो घर से बाहर निकले और देखे कि नहीं कि मतलब उनके नज़र में मैंने एक चीज़ नोटिस किया कि अब समय आ गया है कि हमको उन बच्चों को फिजिकल ग्राउंड में लेके आना है, क्योंकि डिजिटली हम उनको जितना भी अडॉप्ट करें लेकिन अगर उनका मेंटल ग्रोथ हमको कराना है तो फिजिकल एक्सरसाइज बहुत जरूरी है. सो दिस वाज माय इनिशिएटिव सर.
Definitely. I think it's very important thing you are bringing it out. And I think we are all guilty of that, using the phone, particularly smartphone. We are almost all the time chatting away and sending messages and neglecting the physical effort needs to be done. And I'll tell you, at least the last 10 plus years, I have changed my habit. So I walk almost 4 to 5 miles a day inside my house. We have a long lobby and 24/7, anytime I have a open time, I just keep walking. And it keeps me fit. I lost a good bit of weight and it allows me to remain sharp. And weather doesn't affect me because about 4 to 5 months we have a snow or ice condition outside, very cold. So I don't have to dress up and do the walking inside the house and keep me fit. So I think these are the kind of things we need to think about, mainly for children. Their physical exercise is extremely important for their growth, not only just studies, but the physical activities will keep their mind sharp. They will remain healthy, then they can learn better. So it's a complete cycle. We need to get them involved in the physical activities, the sports, whatever they like to work upon. And here I see children starting with the early childhood, early before kindergarten, all the way through high school. And particularly in the high school years, 4 years, they have a compulsory physical education course with the grade required to pass the course and get the high school diploma. So it's an essential component to focus upon for the well-being of the youth of the nation and make them physically fit. And as we all know, the data shows that the obesity is going up. They are constantly in front of either TV or the smartphone, eating junk foods all the time, and their weight is going up. And that is applicable both to children as well as the parents as well. So unless you do some physical exercise, your health will degrade very soon, and then you cannot do the work you want to do, and you are not giving the best effort on your part. So excellent point, Dr. Tandon. Thanks for bringing it up. Yeah. One more comment very quickly, then we'll keep moving. Dr. Gopal Ram, you had a follow-up item?
जी सर,
Go ahead.
सर मैंने अभी इन जो एक्शन रिसर्च जो हमारा वो था प्रोजेक्ट था, उसमें मैंने रक्तदान पर काम किया। वैसे मैं विगत कई वर्षों से रक्तदान कर रहा हूँ। इस बार मेरा 11वीं बार रक्तदान था, तो उसमें मैंने अपने इधर कुछ लोगों को मोटिवेशन भी किया। हालांकि मेरे साथ कोई रक्तदान करने गए नहीं, लेकिन फिर भी मैं जो पिछले संडे था उसमें मैंने रक्तदान किया। और मैं जब पिछले कॉलेज में था, वहां पर भी मैं एनएसएस कार्यक्रम अधिकारी था, तो उसके तहत भी हमने काफी अपने जो वॉलंटियर थे, जो एनएसएस के जो स्वयंसेवी थे, उनसे भी काफी रक्तदान कराया। उसका बेनिफिट ये हुआ कि 2017 में मेरे फादर की तबीयत खराब हो गई थी हल्द्वानी में, तो उनके लिए रक्त की बहुत जरूरत पड़ी। तो मुझे उसी एनएसएस के तहत, मैं अपने सभी मित्रों को भी बात बताना चाहता हूँ, उसी एनएसएस के तहत मुझे सुशीला तिवारी हॉस्पिटल से काफी जो रक्त है, जो ब्लड है, उसकी जरूरत पड़ी, तो मुझे उन्होंने दे दिया। तो जो उस हिसाब से मैं हर 6 महीने में या साल भर में रक्तदान जरूर करता हूँ। 6 महीने में ये मैं सभी लोगों को भी अपने इस मंच के माध्यम से सभी लोगों को भी अनुरोध करता हूँ, सभी प्रतिभागियों से, कि जितने ज्यादा से ज्यादा रक्तदान करें, जिससे कि आने वाले समय में हमारे देश में रक्त की कमी ना पड़े। थैंक यू सर।
Yeah, very nice initiative. Thank you, Dr. Ram. You are giving somebody the gift of life, because without blood during operation, they will have a hard time to survive. So wonderful initiative. And I think those who are capable of giving, they should give. After a certain age, they don't take the blood. I believe here it's around 55 plus, they do not take the blood. So I'm not eligible anymore. But I've given a few times. One time my faculty with whom I'd taken a couple of courses at IIT Chicago, he was in dire need, he had a cancer, and then I went and gave a blood for him. So this is a really good gesture, and it's easy to do. You recover that very quickly, and then at least do a couple of times, 2-3 times a year. It will definitely help others in need. So wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Ram, for sharing it. Okay. Yes, thank you. And this is the purpose of this session. Keep sharing good practices so we learn from each other. I'm heading back into the presentation to take it forward. So give me a second here. And we'll have more interaction coming in. So please stay with us.
सर जी, मैंने जो एक्शन रिसर्च किया है ना, वो स्पेशल चाइल्ड के ऊपर किया हुआ है। हमारा जो कॉलेज है, उसी इंस्टीट्यूट का स्पेशल चाइल्ड के लिए एक स्टेबल, बोले तो वहाँ रहने के लिए वो लड़के उधर ही रहते हैं और उनकी देखभाल पूरी उधर ही की जाती है। तो ऐसे जो स्पेशल चाइल्ड है, उनको सर्च किया जाता है और उस स्कूल में उनको पढ़ाई की जाती है सब, और उनको उनके पैर पर खुद खड़े होने के लिए प्रयास करके उन्हें व्यावसायिक कोर्स का प्रशिक्षण दिया जाता है और उनको खुद के पैर पर खड़े किया जाता है और उनको बिजनेस करने के लिए ज्ञान दिया जाता है। उसके ऊपर मैंने ये एक्शन रिसर्च किया हुआ है सर।
अच्छा, very nice. Yeah, people with special needs, student with special needs. Yeah, that's a good initiative. Thank you, Dr. Nagesh ji. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
May I request all of you to keep your question and thoughts handy? Let me get into the presentation and we'll keep moving at this point because I want to cover several things within the time slot given by Dr. Ritesh Ji. And thank you all those who spoke up and shared their special projects they are working on. It was wonderful to listen and hear about the good initiatives. I'm going to share with you a few inspiring quotes on giving back and community service. So we begin with our own Swami Vivekananda. So according to him, this life is short, the vanities of the world are transient, but they alone live who live for others. The rest are more dead than alive. So Swamiji's message is very clear, do something for others. Late President John F. Kennedy, who has said that of those to whom much is given, much is required. So think about yourself. You are better off than others who are struggling in the community outside the campus. They do not have proper education, they do not have proper livelihood, difficulty with the water, sanitation, food, shelter, etc. So you are lucky, you have everything you need, and you are at a good place where you are teaching in different states of India, bringing up the new generation of leaders. And let's look at John F. Kennedy's point about the goal of education is advancement of the knowledge and dissemination of the truth. So let's keep that in mind as well. And this is from a gentleman named Athénée de Grelais, a French-American gentleman in the 18th century. He says, I shall pass through this world but once. Any good thing, therefore, that I can do, or any kindness that I can show to any human being, let me do it now. Let me not defer it or neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again. And this is absolutely true. We are gotten one birth. And in this birth, if we can do something good for others, I think it will be our obligation to give back. It's an interesting way to look at it. I learned to give not because I have much, but because I know exactly how it feels to have nothing. So when you see people who are really struggling, you can open up your heart, open up your purse, and give it back as best as you can. And at this point, let me stop sharing. And those who had a question, let's begin taking away a few items. So there were a couple of people had raised the hand. Go ahead, one at a time. So here Dr. Boro has put a comment, man and elephant conflict is common in Assam, which is due to loss of habitation or fragmentation. It becomes a havoc, especially for the farmers during the harvest season in protecting their crops. What's your take on this and how to tackle? So I'm not an expert in this area, but I'm sure all of you saw Elephant Whisperer got the Oscar award. And understanding the nature, protecting the elephants. And I also saw a recent report that a lot of elephants, when they cross the railway track, they get killed. In the Assam area, I believe it was Bihar and Chhattisgarh, 3 different states where elephants are moving from one place to the other place, and they get killed in the accidents. So something needs to be done on a proactive basis to protect the elephant from getting killed unnecessarily. So I think looking back, protecting them, one, finding a simple solution so that they don't get accidentally killed, that's one issue. Secondly, during the harvest season, if the crop is getting destroyed because of either the elephant or any other reason, you need to investigate why it's happening and what can you do to overcome the challenge you are facing. So I will leave it at that. Any other comments? I don't see here in the chat box, but somebody was raising hand or speaking when I started on my segments here. Anyone want to come in? Identify yourself, raise your hand. And while we are at it, anybody wants to share a good quote on giving back? Anything comes to mind? Okay. Yeah, I agree, Upadhyay ji, that the human is responsible for this. Okay, Rita Devi, you have a question or you have raised your hand, so come in, please.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर।
Good morning.
सर मेरे पैर में दिक्कत है, तो मैंने शुरू से ही स्ट्रगल किया है और अभी मैं एक अच्छी रिकग्नाइज्ड पोजीशन पर हूँ। तो मैंने काफ़ी सारे लोगों को अपने जैसे को देखा, तो वहाँ पर एक मीटिंग थी हमारे गांव में, तो हम वहाँ गए, तो मैंने उन्हें मोटिवेट किया। उन्हें स्टीफन हॉकिंग, हेलन केलर, जॉन मिल्टन, सुधा चंद्रन, इरा सिंघल, ऐसे बहुत सारे एग्जाम्पल देकर उन्हें समझाया और बताया कि अगर आप हीन भावना से ग्रस्त रहेंगे तो आप आगे नहीं बढ़ पाएंगे। सबसे बेहतर है कि आप पहले शिक्षा पाइए और अपने आप को मोटिवेटेड कीजिए, अपने आप को ये महसूस कराइए कि आप डिसेबल्ड नहीं है, आप स्पेशल एबल्ड है। तो ये चीजें मैंने अभी की, तो सर ये शेयर करना था। थैंक यू सर।
No, very nice. And I think what we can do is, and I'm going to share very shortly my personal example of losing an eyesight when I was very young. So I think we just treat disability as a stigma. That should not be the case. It's for whatever reason a person is disabled, it doesn't mean that we should look down upon them. We need to treat them normal, like others, and create resources for them so that they have a chance to come up as well. And I'll share that in the healthcare segment, where we have done work on Blind Foundation for India for the last 34 years. So I think it's an excellent point. We need to change our mindset and the way of thinking about disabled people. They are not disabled, they are differently able. Yeah, they're differently able people. We need to treat them as special people and give them all the resources we can give it to them and make them stand on their own feet rather than find or have pity for them. That doesn't help them. Yeah. Okay, good point. Thank you, Rita Devi ji. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
any other comments, thoughts? Yeah. Before we move on.
प्रणाम सर, मैं मनोज कुमार झारखंड से बोल रहा हूँ सर।
ओके, मनोज कुमार जी बोलिए।
सर हमने रिसर्च एक्शन में यहाँ के जो स्थानीय समस्याएं हैं, खासकर झारखंड का जो राजकीय पुष्प है पलास का ट्री, और उस पर आश्रित यहाँ के बहुत सारे ट्राइबल लोग हैं जो उससे पत्तल और दोने और पलास के जो फूल होते हैं उससे नेचुरल हर्बल कलर बना करके मतलब इस्तेमाल करते हैं, लेकिन उनको सर वो प्रमोट नहीं मिल पाता है लार्जर स्केल पर। जब मैं 1-2 विलेज गया सर, वहां पर देखा तो वो लोग काफी उम्मीद भरे से हम लोगों से पूछ रहे थे कि सरकार के साथ ये प्रतिनिधि हैं, आए हैं, अपनी समस्याओं को बहुत मतलब आशा और उम्मीद से देख रहे थे। तो हमने जो उनसे जानकारी ली तो उन पेड़ों से या पत्तों से बने हुए जो भी उत्पाद हैं, मार्केट में भी सर उनको बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा रिस्पांस नहीं मिलता है। जो लोग बिचौलिए होते हैं या मार्केट में वैसे लोग हैं, उनके सामानों को खरीदते हैं बहुत कम दाम पर, लेकिन उनको बेचते हैं अधिक मूल्यों पर। और वो 5 रुपए 10 रुपए सैकड़े के हिसाब से उसको बेच देते हैं। लिहाज़तन उनकी स्थिति मतलब उतनी बेटर नहीं है। तो मैंने उस पर जब रिसर्च किया तो जान के हमको मुझे दुख भी हुआ, लेकिन प्रयास ये रहा मेरा कि उसको और कैसे इम्प्रोवाइज किया जाए, कैसे उनको एक अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म या लघु उद्योग के रूप में कैसे उसको ये बढ़ावा दिया जाए।
Yeah, very good point. Because if you find a better solution for them to get fair price for their products, that's what is needed so they can have a better livelihood rather than sell it at a very cheap price and others take benefit from it. Yeah, excellent point. Thank you. Shivsiji, come in.
Yes, sir. Sir, I am from St. Mary's College, Thrissur, Kerala. In our college, we have different units for the social worker. Myself and 20 students from my department, we were conducting a need analysis survey in one of our adopting village, and we find out one of the major problem faced by that villages is water scarcity. And we are discussing that matter with the local administration bodies, and togetherly we planned and we decided to construct the rain pits before the monsoon season. And now we are completing around 220 rain pits in that particular village.
Okay. So do you do any rainwater harvesting type of thing?
Yes, sir. The local panchayat members also help to us, and they find out some experts from the government parts.
Okay.
And
Good.
togetherly we constructing. Now also we continue with that work, and now we complete 20 rain pits in that village from the different parts for to storage the rainwater.
Nice. Yep. Yep. And again, I think we all need to keep in mind, and I keep seeing the report that water will become very scarce down the road, specifically in countries like India and Pakistan and other places because of the climate change, more heat and less rain and all that. So we need to conserve the water, collect all the water coming down as a rainwater harvesting, both at everywhere, individual houses, as well as the residencies, big complex, all the rainwater can be collected and reused as best as you can. Thank you. Dr. Homan, come in, please. Dr. Barwa.
Sir, my college is located at Assam. So I have taken initiative to tie up my college with Skill Development Mission of Assam. And we have educated almost 300 students about skill-based courses like computer education, sewing machine operator, beauty therapy, all these courses. The most interesting thing is that if your students are able to get jobs, so there is one thing I can share. And another one thing is that I inspire students, the recipients of Isanuddha scholarship, they are compulsory, or it is made compulsory that they will have to plant a tree in the campus of the college. Those two initiatives were taken by our college, and along with that, we have adopted 6 villages, 5 villages under the Unnat Bharat mission, and 1 village is itself adopted by our college. So work is going on nowadays. Thank you, sir.
Great. Yeah, all the best. This is a really great initiative. So thank you for sharing, Dr. Barwa. And I think there was some comment, Dr. Sujan Sinha says, knowledge sharing and knowledge mobilization. And that's, I think, is very much needed. Share your successes, even the failures. If you do something which doesn't work, keep it open so others can learn from it and not to repeat the things where you have not been successful. Okay. Any additional comments? Otherwise, let me keep moving with the presentation. Okay, going back to the presentation. So now I'm going to share several cases of my work in the community service going back to 1970 to present is the first segment. So during 1970 to 2001, coordinated major fundraising drives here in Chicago area. First was during the 1970 War of East Pakistan. At my university, Illinois Institute of Tech, we showed about 10 different Indian movies, and the funds collected from it, we work with an agency called CARE to provide blankets to refugees who were crossing India from East Pakistan. For almost 10 years, new and used clothing were collected and shipped via the Shipping Corporation of India free of charge to various Ramakrishna missions in India, raised funds for clean drinking water project between 72, 73, severe drought in India, and sent the fund back in for providing better water, digging water well, and also providing clean drinking water. And during the 2001 severe earthquake in Gujarat, specifically in Kutch area, the new housing was built from funds we have given to Ramakrishna Mission Centers, specifically from Rajkot and Porbandar, which did a lot of construction and constructive work to place people in housing situation. Save the Children International Agency, when I was working at AT&T Bell Labs, during Christmas time, we had a tradition. Generally here, they exchange a lot of holiday cards. So instead of mailing the card, the team will collect the funds. So people donate the money by saving, not sending the Christmas card, and give it for Save the Children Fund drive. And we were able to sponsor 50 children in 20 plus countries, including India. And the year 84 to 1999, when I was chairing the effort, we had about 100 plus volunteers as a contact points covering all the departments of AT&T Bell Labs location in Illinois. And this is a wonderful spirit of generosity by professional at one of the most prestigious workplace. And Bell Labs was the place where every day a patent was issued. Tremendous brain power and tremendous amount of basic research and applied research going on in telecommunication. Now I'm going to focus on the major project of Free Chakshudan, Blind Foundation for India in 1989 to present. So we started the group in 1989 after knowing that India has 15 million blind people, 1 out of 3 in the world. And very soon I'll share a short video also, which will explain why I gravitate towards this cause. So we are in the 34th year of dedicated service, giving services to over 2 million blinds, million adults, and million children. Mission of the foundation is very simple: to prevent and cure blindness and to provide education and rehabilitation to permanently blind people in India. Staggering statistics: over 15 million blind, as I mentioned, 1 out of 3 blind person lives in India. 2.3 million people develop cataract every year, and 2 million blind children, only 5% receive any education. Here are the major causes of eye diseases in India. Cataracts due to age, lens get opaque, it needs to be replaced with the intraocular lens. Trachoma, corneal opacity due to infection, hygiene and water issue. Glaucoma, where eye pressure rise, and then if it is not treated properly, you can lose an eyesight. Diabetic retinopathy due to diabetes, retinal damage, and this is a major issue in India because diabetes is on the rise. Lack of exercise and good food leads to the diabetes. Lack of vitamin A, specifically in children, they get the corneal opacity, so they need to be given vitamin A as a supplement. If a person gets the measles, they are likely to lose eyesight, and accident falls, people can lose their eyesight. So I had a chance to give a TEDx IIT Chicago talk on Blind Foundation for India, and the talk covered both the prevention and the cure part of the work we do. The prevention part is that if the children at the age of 4 to 6, they are examined, and if they are deficient in vitamin A, you can give 5 different doses, 5 doses oral vitamin A, which cost around $1. If that child is given the vitamin A, likelihood that child will not go blind, gets good education, then during 30 years of their lifetime, they have earning potential of equivalent of $100,000. So you see the exponential power of prevention. $1 investment can lead to $100,000 of earning by a child who will not go blind. And not only this helps that the child has not gone blind, so the society, the family doesn't have to spend any money for blindness issue. So here is a hospital in Shihor where doctor is examining the school children for vitamin A. On the other side, cure. So people 60 and above, due to age-related issue, they get cataract in their eye and they cannot see properly. And these slides, when I gave the talk in 2013, the cost of cataract removal here is $4,000, whereas in India it's around $20. Last year I got both my cataracts removed. The cost was $6,000, so it's a multiplier of 320 to 6,000. And so the small amount of effort done, $20, which will save somebody to not remain blind. And 80% of blindness in India is preventable or curable. Preventable through vitamin A, curable through removal of the cataracts. So it's a simple 10 minutes operation to remove the cataract. And then overnight patients stay at the hospital. They get a post-op check on the next day, and they are sent back to the villages on the vans we have given. And so far, 137 vans have been donated to various medical partners throughout India. Here are 2 different vans we had given to Ramakrishna Mission in Varanasi. And incidentally, Ramakrishna Mission in Dehradun, we have given 2 different vans over the last 10 years to go to different parts of Uttarakhand and visit the schools and examine the children for vitamin A deficiency and provide the necessary intervention. So here is a perfect example. If you look at the picture on the left side, the girl has a squint. With a simple corrective operation, the squint was removed, and the life changes with the correction, and outlook on the life has changed, and person begin to live the normal life. So the impact so far for the Blind Foundation of India work is we have raised now over $6 million, 250,000 free cataract operations, 250,000 million adults and million children got the eyesight examined free of charge, donated 10,000 braille kits to blind children for their education, 137 mobile vans donated in 18 states of India. And through Rotary International matching, we have done 15 major projects where $1 got matched to $3 up to the total amount of $5,500,000. So impact has been good. the effort is continuing. We have a simple small board of directors, and we try to keep it action oriented rather than a lot of talk. Very happy to share that we have the letter of commendation from President Barack Obama, Senior Bush, Junior Bush, and President Clinton. Bottom two pictures. One on the bottom right is visit with the Vice President in 2000, Shri Krishan Kant. And then the second in the middle bottom row, Bairon Singh Shekhawatji, Vice President at his residence. Locally, we were recognized as one of the best charity in the Chicago area, and the Rotary International gave the Paul Harris Fellow Medal, second one in 2015, first one was in year 2000. At the special function at the Ellis Island, where all the immigrants used to come from Europe mainly into New York, a special function was held where 100 or so immigrants, people from different parts of the world who have settled in the US and doing some good community service work. We had a 4-hour ceremony where 100 people were recognized, and this is from the ceremony in New York on 11th of May 2011. 2018, NRI of the Year Award in Philanthropy from North America, Sri Kiran Rijiju was the chief guest giving away the award. And I'm going to stop sharing and share with you the short YouTube which is lined up. So give me a second. And this will explain why I'm very passionate about the work on the Blind Foundation for India.
The Times Now ICICI Bank NRI of the Year Awards, powered by the Global Indian International School. We're in conversation with the winner of the NRI of the Year Award in the philanthropy category for the North America region, founder and director of the Blind Foundation for India, Manu Vora. Sir, your efforts at the foundation have led to the prevention, cure, and rehabilitation of over 15 million individuals that are blind and of Indian origin.
Yeah.
What's made it possible?
Yeah, so my journey in this area started back in 1959 when I was a young student and I had a very freak accident with a firecracker. So at the Diwali time, I was playing with a firecracker. One of the cracker had not gone off. So I took that cracker in my hand, being naive, didn't know, put a puff of air, and lo and behold, that firecracker exploded on my face. So I had a 3rd-degree burn, and my eyes were closed, so I was totally blind. And within 24 hours, fortunately, the eye doctor was able to remove the residue, and I was able to gain the eyesight. Now, while in those 24 hours, I was pondering what is my life, because I had lost my parents by the age of 6, and no parents, no eyesight, I had 0 future. So that happened in 1959. 30 years later, we started the Blind Foundation for India, when Dr. Rajendra Vyas, he was the Honorary Secretary General of the National Association for the Blind from Mumbai. He motivated us to do something for 15 million blind, whereas we were about 1 million Asian Indians in USA. So that is the start, and this is how the God works in a mysterious way. Planted a seed, 30 years later, it germinated into a foundation, and coincidentally, we are in the 30th year of the foundation, supporting our blind brothers and sisters back home.
What a phenomenal journey, sir.
Thank you.
Now, 1/3 of the world's blind population is of Indian origin. That figure is very discouraging and very daunting. So how do you embrace this challenge and tackle it head on?
Yeah. So we came to know that the 80% of this blindness is preventable or curable. So if you take a children age 4 to 6, they go blind because they don't have vitamin A in their diet. spend mainly in the villages, and as well as the elderly people who are sitting in the villages. They have a cataract due to age. Their children don't want to spend any resource to get the cataracts out. So they are needlessly sitting there as a blind people. So our effort is to prevent the blindness through vitamin A to young children. Cure is by removing the cataracts in the villages for the people. Education, we have given braille kits to the children to study with the sighted kids, and rehabilitation to get them some job on their own living and make them self-sufficient. And some of the things we have been doing for the last 30 years is creating a trust with the donors. We are totally transparent. We have a website, blindfoundation.org. People can go and take a look at it. We have volunteer organization. Nobody is paid a single penny. And we get all the volunteers to help us to manage the foundation. We have done so far 200,000 free cataract operations, 10,000 braille kits. We have given 128 mobile vans to take doctors to the villages and bring the patient back for cataract. And so far, on an overall basis, 1 million adults have their eyesight checked free of cost. And about 900,000 children, mainly in the government schools, their eyesight subject to prevent them from going blind.
You're transforming lives. And so there's of course no substitute for the gift of vision. What can others do both within India and NRIs outside of India that are looking to rally behind this cause?
Right. So I think the issue is twofold. One is we need to be aware. I was not aware when Dr. Rajendra Vyas came. He told us and he opened my eyes that so many blind people, and also the impetus is 80% is preventable or curable, and it takes only a small amount of resource to help our brothers and sisters back home. So people can open up their purse and donate, and also reach out to the communities within each of their residence areas to make people aware that this is a serious challenge. Whatever we do little by little, it adds up and it becomes a big thing at the end of the day. And there is one stanza in Sanskrit, Tamso ma jyotir gamaya, God kindly lead us from darkness to light. Now, if we take it on a metaphysical level, God kindly lead us from darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge. And my simple request to all the NRIs around the world is, India has invested in us so much in the early education. Wherever we are sitting in the world, we can give back our knowledge, and all the NRIs who are settled, they do not need money. The institutions need to have supportive administration, which will make it possible for the alumni to give it back, the knowledge, the talent, their time. And that is the order of the day.
So as a recipient of this highly prestigious, coveted NRI of the Year Award, what does it feel like?
So first of all, I want to thank Times Now and ICICI Bank for coming up with this kind of program, which essentially exposes the good work done by NRIs around the world. So hats off to both the entity. Second,
get away with.
So that was the motivation for me to get involved with Blind Foundation for India work, because I myself was blind for 24 hours when I was very young. So I have a very soft corner for the issue of blindness. Let me go back to the presentation. And I'm going to share with you a link where US Department of Commerce has essentially written up a small blog post on how a charity is using the Baldrige Award to manage the non-profit organization, so bear with me for a second. So this was the blog post created on July 30, 2015. Here a van is shown in Vrindavan Ramakrishna Mission, and we have visited this place in Vrindavan Ramakrishna Mission in 2012 during our visit with myself and my wife. And they wrote up, and there is a Baldrige criteria with 7 different categories: leadership, strategic planning, customer focus, measurement analysis, knowledge management, workforce focus, operations focus, and results focus. And these are some of the basic ideas we have been using at our foundation to keep it very simple, streamlined, and action-oriented. You saw the same picture, vitamin A deficiency check on the school children. And this is definitely a good way that U.S. Department of Commerce, they were excited that we are using this criteria to manage the foundation at the nonprofit level. Okay, I'll be back into presentation, and then let's continue the effort. In the interest of time, I will not play this YouTube, but those of you who have further interest, the detail about the foundation was shared at the TEDx IIT Chicago on 13th of April 2013. So there is a little bit of older information, but it covers A to Z of the foundation start and where we were at that point in time. So as I mentioned, Tamsoma Jyotirgamaya, God kindly lead us from darkness to light. And this issue of blindness is so critical because once a person is blind, a lot of things close for them. And to make them live the life in the most productive way, I think whatever we can do to help them in terms of education, in terms of livelihood, it will go a very long way. There is a KEM hospital and GS Medical College in Mumbai. If anybody is from the Mumbai area, they would remember. My wife is a graduate with the MBBS and MD degree from there. When after that, she arrived here and we got married in the US in 1974. So the dean of the medical college and the hospital had stayed with us for a week in year 2020. Year 2000, and he asked me to serve as an honorary executive director for setting up the Gozumek Foundation. And during that 10 years, we raised $250,000, $250,000 to support the hospital and the medical school. 2 YAG lasers were donated through Blind Foundation, and other state-of-the-art medical equipment and technical know-how was provided to benefit the medical institution in Mumbai. It's one of the top medical schools in Mumbai. So at this point, I want to ask very specific question that if you have any specific area in healthcare work you do, and which has not been spoken so far, kindly share 1 or 2 volunteers in the interest of time so we can keep moving. Anyone doing something in the healthcare? 1 volunteer would be great. Other than the information we already heard earlier part of the presentation. Hearing none, we'll keep proceeding. And we'll have an opportunity again to ask the question towards the end. So let's keep moving. There was some comment here. Let me see. Okay, Ashwani Sharma, your work will motivate everyone who hears you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you. And Vinitji, thank you. Vision is the first prime life need and right for everyone. Good contribution to life, invaluable work. Thank you very much. Okay, let's keep moving. So I get into now Free Gyandan project. That's a soft skill program we started back in 2013 and currently it's ongoing. So I go back to my alma mater, Banaras Hindu University, which became IIT in 2012, IIT BHU Varanasi. So the founder, Bharat Ratna Pandit Madan Mohan Malaviya ji, he says, I have no desire for kingdom, no desire for heaven, no desire for moksha. The only desire I have is to mitigate the sorrow of the living beings who are ridden with sorrow. I want to shine light into the darkness before people's eyes. In other words, educate the youth so that they can learn the technical aspects and at the same time do something for uplifting the nation by doing community service as well. A great effort done by Pandit Madan Mohan Malaviya, 1916, BHU opened its gate and tremendous amount of indigenous education and no money was taken from the government. It was all through private charity. Now, I want to share with you a very important slide about the importance of soft skills. So if you look at the latest surveys, more than 90% of the executives who are hiring, they are looking for better soft skills in the new hire compared to the hard or technical skills. The last bullet says that for the new hire's ability to work in a team is most desirable over quantitative or analytical skills. So here is a mismatch. Students who graduate from all your higher education institute, they are good at technical or hard skills, but they lack the soft skills such as leadership, decision making, time management, teamwork, problem solving, project management, etc. As a result, they do not get a good placement, and even if they find a job, they are not able to make good progress, and their career growth is stunted. So very, very critical to have soft skills integrated in all curricula. So when they graduate, they have that under their belt. So I've been teaching in the academic setting since 2006, started at Great Lake Institute of Management, then at various colleges throughout India, including my alma mater, IIT BHU. And I've been training executives since year 2000 in India on various occasions. So I come across brilliant minds, excellent focus on technical only, lack of soft skills. So started with the Leadership Excellence series, 6 items shown in blue, soft skills, 6 items shown in red, quality management. This is my area of discipline in the operations. And we did this pilot at the IIT BHU, 1 session a month, 1 hour, 15 minutes, 45 to 50-minute presentation, 15 to 20 minutes Q&A. And those sessions use the Google Hangout. At that time, it was totally free. And American Society for Quality India office supported us, and the entire project is written up and shown here at the link provided. And between 2013 to 2016, we reached out to 6,75,000 people. And currently we are tracking at 1.1 million, and we have truncated this Leadership Excellence series to 5 to 6 sessions. I'll talk about it shortly. So this was the Leadership Excellence project team, and we submitted our project to Quality Council of India at the 11th National Quality Conclave in New Delhi. On 20th of August, we were recognized with the silver category DL Shah Quality Award. My wife is standing next to me. We were visiting New Delhi, and the organizer next to me and the other members were part of the team. So soft skill program has been delivered at various places, including Tata Network Forum in 2015, with about 5,000 people, the global locations joining. And I'll come back to the Gujarat example shortly. And so we have done work in various different institutes in different parts of the world, of the country. And this is the recap of soft skill training given to faculty over the last 10 years in 17 states and 3 territories, union territories. Students, 14 states and 3 union territories. And by the way, we are embarking with the help from Dr. Ritesh and Dr. Joshi, the Vice Chancellor at Kumaun University, to offer the soft skill training to 8,000 to 9,000 students in the month of April. So the planning is underway. So we'll be adding Uttarakhand in this list. So we ran a soft skill program round 3 at IIT BHU with help from Professor Anil Kumar Agrawal, professor in charge for training and placement cell. Put together 6 topics: leadership, decision-making, time management, teamwork, project management, and career development guidance. We are honored to be partnering with AICTE and AICTE Atal Academy, Alma World, and at that time, State of Uttarakhand was also partnering with us through my good friend, Dr. Rakesh Kumar, IAS officer, who is currently the chairman of the Public Service Commission, Government of Uttarakhand. 8:30 to 10:30 between March and April of last year, sessions were conducted synchronously. And each of the sessions are recorded on the YouTube, and all 6 sessions are captured on the link shown here. Program was highly effective. Those who attended from the campus, they gave overall session 99.5% satisfaction, learning new concept 98.7%, satisfaction and applicability in the study and the work 96% satisfaction. And currently we are tracking at 91,000 plus views of the 6 YouTubes, which are sitting at the link I have shown, as well as on the AICTE website. So on 18th of March 2016, when I was visiting India, Swami Nikhileshwarananji is shown in the saffron color clothing, top right picture in the middle, took me from Baroda to Gandhinagar, capital of Gujarat, where Commissioner Mr. A.J. Shah in white shirt, he has now retired. He gave me 45 minutes to talk about the effective time management, very important topic. Via satellite, we connected with 450 colleges and 5 lakh students, 500,000 students and faculties benefited. The program was professionally recorded, and the YouTube link is shown in this slide up there. So I want to talk about a skilling model, that what we need to do is, I'd done some work in Egypt between 2008 to 10. So during 2016, 2017, I was approached and I became the international advisor for a brand new university opening in Alexandria in Egypt to develop a 7-session on soft skill leadership, communication, research method, quality method, community service, entrepreneurship, and soft skills. And the new university had a business school, engineering college, medical college, and pharmaceutical college. So along with the technical knowledge, they are required to study these 7 areas, and they create a report card. First, they study both theory and practice in on a project on these 7 areas, along with the required technical or hard skill training. And then for this soft skill program, they have to create a portfolio, and overall 80% passing requirement after 4 or 5 years before they get the degree or diploma. And when they go for a job prospect, the interviewer can see the difference between the candidates who have this kind of knowledge versus the one who are lacking this soft skill program information, and they get a better chance to get a good job. So bottom line is, when one masters the soft skills, they have mastered their destiny. Now, the roots of helping others go back to 1964, almost 60 years ago. So during my 4 years, I was very honored and a pleasure to share my course note with my classmates. And we had at that time 9 months program, 13 subjects in the year I joined. And if one fails in one of the subjects, has to repeat the year again. Now I come from the middle class family. My parents were not there, so my focus was on study. So first 8 months out of 9, I would study really well and complete all the requirements. And the last month, I did not have to study. I will have a good notes. I'll circulate that along with solving 10 years of problems which were available for purchase. And on the last month, I'll be the consultant on demand. So my friends take the notes. Those who have not put in effort in the first 8 months, they buckle down in the last month to study at the end. And then they are all brilliant students, but didn't do the work needed. So they come and ask me why this solution or that solution. So it forced me to study more in depth. So not only I had to go in depth and understand the fundamentals and the concepts to convince them. So it helped me, it helped them as well as me also to do better in my studies. And this was the time helped me in early interest in teaching and consulting, which has helped me both academically and my corporate work. Sorry, my voice is breaking up, so give me a little 20 seconds here. Thank you. So at my alma mater, IIT Chicago, we have an alumni association. And during 2006 to 2010, based on my experience at the Bell Labs, we established and streamlined the alumni awards process. And that process, with the focus on recognizing alumni so that they get engaged with the institute and hopefully bring in some good resources back for the institute, their alma mater. And currently that process is still in use. And every year they recognize between 10 to 12 outstanding alumni in different categories. So any community service effort, and at the interest of time, let me complete the presentation and then we'll take the question and answer. So as we come to close to conclusion here, I want to share a wonderful work by the Professor Emeritus who has passed on, Clayton Christensen from Harvard Business School. He was one of the most revered faculty in management, voted by people from around the world So he gave a final lecture to the class of 2007-2008 in 2010. So it's a 2-year program. So 2008 entry, 2010 students were graduating. And around that time, we had a real estate bubble that busted, and there was severe economic depression in the country. So students who joined Harvard Business School, they were having hard time finding a good placement. Normally, they get 5 to 6 offers, 6 figures in dollars, $100,000 or more, depending on their prior experience and number of years of experience. So students were having hard time finding a good placement. So to motivate them, he gave this lecture, how will you measure your life? So he says that there are 6 steps. One is create a strategy for your life at a personal level, like you do in the corporate or in any domain. Secondly, allocate your personal resources wisely. Create a family culture of cooperation and collaboration with your other half. Avoid just this once. So that means do not cross the ethical boundary. Always stay with the ethical decision making. Do not get tempted for the short-term goal. Be humble. So getting a degree from Harvard Business School, a lot of people get too much air in their head. They think they are the best. He says, when you come across other people, if you are humble, you can learn from each and every individual you come in contact with, because everybody has something to teach. And last, use the right yardstick to measure the success of your life. It's not the number of bank accounts and money you have, number of houses you have, farmhouse you have, or number of vacations you take, etc. But how many people have you helped during your lifetime? That should be the right yardsticks to measure the value of your life. And I'm so happy that at least in my lifetime, I have touched close to about 3 million plus people, 2 million through the Blind Foundation and million plus through the Education Initiative. So in summary, success factors, since we have educators, I'll focus in the middle. We all need to renew our knowledge. We need to engage our students. So essentially, engage, excite, empower, and challenge them. We need to be their role model. Focus on getting the cooperation and collaboration rather than competition. We encourage their curiosity, creativity, and confidence. And we need to balance the theory and the practice. And don't give the solution to students. Make them think. Challenge them by giving them the right resources. Be approachable, flexible, and good listener. And I put it this way, when students enter the higher education institute, they are like a rough diamond. We as a faculty keep polishing them, so by the time they are ready to graduate, they can shine in the world. And if you have good experience and seasoned faculty, mentor the upcoming faculty. It will help them and it will help you as well. So just to sum it up, $12 million raise since '89, 1.1 million people in education, initiatives, soft skills in India, and 2 million adults and children through Blind Foundation for India effort. And now we have the last YouTube. So I'll stop sharing and it's all lined up by Dr. Ujjwal Patni. It's very, very inspiring. So let's listen to him. It's in Hindi.
क्यों? ये एक सच्ची कहानी है और ये वो कहानी है जिसने शायद आज तक मेरे दिल को सबसे ज्यादा छुआ है। ब्राजील में दंगे चल रहे थे, 5 दिन से शहर नहीं खुला था। खाने पीने की चीजों को लेकर त्राही त्राही मची हुई थी। यहां तक कि दूध, सब्जी, फल भी शहर में कहीं नहीं मिल रहा था। चारों ओर कर्फ्यू का माहौल था। जिनके घरों में खाने को था वो तो फिर भी किसी तरीके से काम चला रहे थे। वहीं पर गरीब बच्चों का एक हॉस्टल था। उस हॉस्टल की मेस पिछले 5 दिनों से बंद थी। बच्चे भूख से बिलबिला रहे थे। जो थोड़ा बहुत खाने का था सब खत्म हो चुका था। एक बच्चे से रहा नहीं गया। वो बहुत ज्यादा परेशान होकर, व्याकुल होकर सड़क पर निकल आया। उसको यह भी डर था कि पुलिस उसको मारेगी, पिटाई करेगी, हो सकता है गिरफ्तार हो जाऊं। लेकिन कभी कभी भूख से मरने से अच्छा लगता है सड़क पर मार खाना। वो निकल पड़ा। थोड़ी आगे जब पहुंचा तो उसने देखा कि एक घर की बालकोनी पर एक युवती बैठकर कुछ खा रही थी। वो वहां से यूं टकटकी लगाकर वहां देखने लगा। उस युवती को बड़ा अजीब लगा, अचकचा गई और उसने पूछा, भूख लग रही है? छोटा सा बच्चा था। उसने कहा, बहुत भूख लग रही है, 3 दिन से कुछ नहीं खाया। उस युवती ने उस बच्चे को घर के अंदर बुलाया। सोच कर देखिए, दंगे के उस समय जब चारों ओर कर्फ्यू लगा हो, एक बच्चे को घर के अंदर बुलाना बीच सड़क से आसान नहीं, कुछ भी हो सकता है। घर के अंदर बुलाया, बिठाया, उसको खाने को दिया। बच्चे ने बोला मैं खा नहीं पाऊंगा, तो 1 गिलास दूध दिया, 2 ब्रेड दी। किसी तरीके से 3 दिन से भूखे उस बच्चे की जान में जान आई। वो बहुत सारा थैंक यू बोलता हुआ निकल गया। जब वो जा रहा था तो दरवाजे के बाहर अचानक फिर 1 मिनट रुक गया। नेम प्लेट की ओर टकटकी लगाकर देख रहा था। युवती ने पूछा, कुछ और दूं, भूख लगी? नहीं। वो बोलकर चला गया। बात समाप्त हो गई। बहुत साल बीत गए। वो युवती अब बड़े उम्र की महिला हो चुकी थी। वो सड़क से एक दिन जा रही थी। अचानक पीछे से एक गाड़ी ने ठोक दिया। बहुत भारी एक्सीडेंट था। अनकॉन्शियस हो गई। लोगों ने उठाकर पास में एक हॉस्पिटल में पहुंचाया और हॉस्पिटल में उसका इलाज शुरू हुआ। 4-5 दिन बाद होश आया। इलाज चल रहा था और होश आने के बाद उसने चारों ओर देखा और सब उसको पता चला। वो घबरा गई। उसको लगा इस हॉस्पिटल का बिल मैं कैसे दूंगी। उसका इंश्योरेंस था, लेकिन वो इंश्योरेंस इतना नहीं था कि वो हॉस्पिटल के बिल को पूर जाए। और वो हर दिन दुखदुखी के साथ जी रही थी कि जिस भी दिन मेरे सामने बिल आएगा मैं क्या करूंगी। लेकिन बिल ही नहीं आ रहा था। वो खुद आश्चर्यचकित थी। वो कई बार पूछती थी, मुझे बिल तो दो, मुझे बिल तो दो। और नर्सेस कहती थी, आ जाएगा ना मैडम, आ जाएगा, शांति रखिए, आ जाएगा। और बिल नहीं आ रहा था। कुछ दिन बाद वो ठीक होने के बाद आज वो सबसे ज्यादा घबराई हुई थी, उस दिन से भी ज्यादा जिस दिन वो होश में आई थी। क्योंकि आज उसको लग रहा था एक ऐसा बिल आएगा जिससे उसके जीवन भर की जमा पूंजी सब कुछ खत्म हो जाएगा। हो सकता है बहुत कर्ज भी लेना पड़े। और जब बिल आया और उसने बिल की डायरी को यूं खोला और उसकी आंखों से टप 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 आंसू गिरने लगे। उसको समझ ही नहीं आया ये क्या हुआ है। जानते हो उसमें क्या लिखा था? उसमें लिखा था, बिल फुल्ली क्लियर्ड, 1 ग्लास ऑफ मिल्क एंड 2 स्लाइसेस ऑफ ब्रेड, थैंक यू। और ये लिखा हुआ था। उसको कुछ नहीं समझ आया। इतने में उसने कहा, ये किसने लिखा? बोले ये इस हॉस्पिटल के मालिक है, डॉक्टर केविन। उन्होंने कहा है कि आपका बिल क्लियर हो गया। वो डॉक्टर केविन से मिलने गई और डॉक्टर केविन ने कहा, मैं जब बहुत छोटा था, जब दंगे चल रहे थे, मैं आपके दरवाजे पर आया था और उस दिन मुझे लगा था मैं भूख से मर जाऊंगा और हर कोई डरा हुआ था, कहीं कुछ नहीं मिल रहा था, कोई देने को तैयार नहीं था। आपने अपने घर का दरवाजा खोला था, मुझे 1 गिलास दूध और 2 ब्रेड दी थी। वो कर्ज था मेरी जिंदगी पर, वो कर्ज था। और मैं उस दिन आपका नाम नोट करके ले गया था और जीवन भर ये सोचता रहता था कि मैं कैसे आपका कर्ज चुकाऊंगा। और भगवान ने खुद मुझे ये मौका दे दिया। थैंक यू, आप ऐसी ही मदद करते हैं। साथियों, ये कहानी हमको क्या सिखाती है? ये कहानी हमको ये सिखाती है, यदि आप में सामर्थ्य है तो आप दूसरों की मदद करें। जो दूसरों की मदद करेगा ना, वो कई गुना लौट कर आएगा। कहते हैं ना, जब आप दूसरों को देने के लिए अपनी जेब खोलते हैं, जब आप दूसरों को देने के लिए अपनी जेब खोलते हैं, तो ऊपर वाला आपको देने के लिए अपना दिल खोलता है। अभी लॉकडाउन खुला है, चारों ओर त्राही त्राही है। सोच के देखो ना, किसी की मदद हो सकती है, किसी स्टाफ की मदद हो सकती है, किसी अनजान राहगीर की मदद हो सकती है, कोई ऐसा जिसको पहले से जानते थे, क्या उसकी मदद हो सकती है? और कम है ना तो कम करो। मदद की मात्रा महत्व नहीं रखती, उसका इंटेंट महत्व रखता है, आपकी सोच महत्व रखती है। और जिस दिन आपका हाथ ऐसा हो गया ना, आज हम सब का हाथ ऐसा है, मंदिर में जाके मांगते हैं, मस्जिद में जाके मांगते हैं, गिरजाघर गुरुद्वारा सबके पास जाके मांगते हैं, सरकार से मांगते हैं, सबसे मांगते रहते हैं। छोड़ो ना, ऐसा रखने में क्या रखा है, हाथ को ऐसा करते हैं। जिस दिन देने वाला हाथ बन गया ना, ऊपर वाला आपकी जेब भरेगा, क्योंकि उसको पता है इस आदमी की जेब भरने से दुनिया का भला होता है। तो आज से याद रखना, हर दिन कोशिश करना कहीं ना कहीं किसी ना किसी की मदद कर पाओ। और कभी कभी पैसे से मदद नहीं कर पाओ तो प्रेम भरे दो बोल बोल देना, किसी की प्रशंसा कर देना, किसी को इंस्पायर कर देना, किसी को ढाढ़स बता देना, कोई बहुत तकलीफ में फंसे हुए आदमी को रास्ता दिखा देना, कुछ भी करना। याद रखना, मदद करने की सोच भी मदद होती है। शुक्रिया, धन्यवाद।
What a beautiful message Ujjwal Patni has given. Now we are about to wrap it up, so let me go back. I have one or two short slides and then we'll close and open up for questions. So let's light a lamp of knowledge to eliminate the darkness of ignorance. And this is the message I think we need to give it to our students and for ourselves. That is the dedication, determination, diligence, and discipline will help us achieve all the dreams we have in life for us and for others. So in summary, all higher education institutes in India should have a compulsory requirement of performing community service for a degree or diploma, which will help in nation building. So as I had mentioned up front, you need to write down 2 key takeaways from the session. And I would request, once you are in the Q&A session, to at least share one of your key takeaway in the chat box. I want to thank Dr. Ritesh ji and Dr. Joshi ji for a special invitation to be with you. It's my delight to be with you. And we'll now take the question and answers. So I'll open the chat box. If there is anything there in terms of the question. Okay, any question? Please introduce yourself by raising your hand first and opening the microphone one at a time. Time for questions. We have about 17 minutes left. Okay, Narayan ji, come in.
सर, मैं यदि किसी ब्लाइंड पर्सन को हेल्प करना चाहूंगा तो आपकी यूटिलिटी के माध्यम से कर सकता हूं कि नहीं, जो आपने दिखाया उसके माध्यम से?
जरूर। वी वर्क विद रामकृष्ण मिशन। आप कहाँ पर से है उपाध्याय जी?
मैं आसाम से हूँ सर।
आसाम से है ना? हाँ, तो
आसाम
ठीक
से
है।
हूँ सर।
हाँ, आपका ये प्रेजेंटेशन आपको मिलेगा तो मेरी ईमेल है, यू सेंड मी ईमेल and then I'll send you the contacts where you can work with blind people.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. And I can even put it up in the chat, my email. I've shared my email and WhatsApp number. Okay, additional questions, kindly raise your hand And okay, Saurajit Singh ji, please go ahead.
नमस्ते
Come
सर।
in.
सर मैंने महसूस किया है कि जो ब्लाइंड बच्चे मेरे इंस्टीट्यूशन में पढ़ रहे हैं उनको रिकॉर्डेड बुक्स की बहुत जरूरत होती है। और दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट के रिकॉर्डिंग स्टूडियो है 2, पर वहां पे महीनों लग जाता है किसी बुक को दें और उसके बाद रिकॉर्डिंग मिलने में। तो क्या कुछ इस तरह का आपके साथ जुड़ के कर सकते हैं जो सब्जेक्ट मतलब ग्रेजुएशन के लेवल पे की रिकॉर्डिंग्स जो बेसिक टेक्स्ट है उनके लिए कुछ काम कर सके हम?
अच्छा, तो इसके लिए मैं एक ये सजेस्ट करूंगा, देयर इज ए नेशनल एसोसिएशन फॉर द ब्लाइंड विद द हेडक्वार्टर्स इन मुंबई. Do contact them because they are also creating recorded books for blind people. So see if they have any opportunity or you have any opportunity to work with them. And where are you based at, Dr. Singh?
आगरा उत्तर प्रदेश।
आगरा में है, ठीक है। So there should be a National Association for the Blind chapter in Delhi as well, and maybe in Agra. You can look around for that and work with them because they do a lot of work since 1952 when it was established. And I visited their headquarters in Mumbai. They do great amount of work to help blind people, including children.
जी सर, thank you.
Okay, no problem. Okay, who else has a question, comments? And if you don't have a question, then please put in the chat box one key takeaway, and I'll start reading. I open the chat. Thank you, Dr. Deepika Arya, for your compliment of a very inspiring session, and appreciate your kindness. Okay, Dr. Sujan Sinha, helping people, doing something good for the betterment of the community, be with people in trouble. Excellent point. Okay, keep writing your one key takeaway. So we can use next about 13, 14 minutes to listen to what you have learned from this 1 or 2 hour session, please. And appreciate everybody taking little time to write in the chat box. Okay, thank you for a motivational and informational session, but I'm looking for one key takeaway. So, Kinjal Vagasya, really nice to serve the country, really need to serve our society like this. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you, Dr. Tandon, for your great message, for motivational work we do. Dr. Boro, serving to people is beyond any material gain. Yes, don't expect anything. Just keep doing your best. Anita, today we learn we too must do our share of humanitarian duty. Yes, absolutely true. Dr. Barua, community service on the part of individual or higher education is utmost necessary. And by the way, we are almost ready to send a letter to the Minister of Education with one recommendation along with others on NEP 2020 to make the community service a compulsory requirement for getting a diploma or a degree. Let's hope they listen to some of the ideas I'll be sharing with them. Okay. Rita Devi, Parit Saras, Dharma Nahi Bhai Tulsidas. Okay. Vipul Kumar Sharma, interesting, informative, and motivating session. Dr. Krishna Kumar, work motivates others. Thank you. Key takeaway, keep sending it in. Please do a little bit of effort. The aim of education should be to bring light to the lives of others. Well said, Dr. Narayan Upadhyay ji. Thank you, Rita Devi. Say God's work. If we can do something to help others, keep doing it. God will really appreciate that. And it will give you more strength to do it for others as well. Okay, keep the flow going. Haven't heard from everyone yet. There are 64 people online. Okay, Priti Singh, to improve the life of disadvantaged communities. Very good, thank you. Engagement with community, Vinit Vishnoi, engagement with community service is the best work of God we do for our nation and ourselves. Okay, Dr. Tandon, how to become volunteer of your initiative? Send me brief email, we can communicate. You have my email and WhatsApp, so we can get connected. Dr. Catherine, thank you for inspiring session with the life experience. The energy, that is the energy and the happiness in life. Thank you. Yes, appreciate that. Tista Sen Gupta, my action research project started interacting with children of indigenous community, try to encourage towards sustainable goals and earning through sustainable livelihood. Learned a lot from them also regarding tree plantation, always both way process. We give some, we learn something in return. Absolutely true. My classmates from 62 to 64, Jawar Goradia from Mumbai is online, residing in USA away from birthplace and still serving motherland India. You really deserve a Padma Award. That's up to the government. Thank you very much, Jawar Bhai. Anjan Upadhyay, extending a helping hand to the disadvantaged is the greatest of service, which shows the true meaning of life. Absolutely true. Raja Jahiria will try to add on the community service as a part of our daily life. Great initiative. Keep going with it. Vijay Prakash Meena, thank you for nice and motivational session. Any additional key takeaway? Okay, Mantuji, on basis of our capability, we should help our communities for sure. Absolutely true. Yeah, we can all do something, and it's just a matter of extending ourselves to help others in need. And when we do that, we forget our own difficulties, we forget our own problems. Focus on others, not on ourselves. डॉक्टर दीपिका आर्या, ईश्वर ने हमें इस योग्य बनाया है कि अपने साथ औरों को साथ लेकर आगे बढ़ सके. मेरी कोशिश रहेगी कि मैं अपना सहयोग के दर किसी के जीवन में कुछ सहायता कर पाऊँ. एब्सोल्युटली वेल सेड. सबका साथ सबका विकास, मोदी जी का जो स्लोगन है उसको लगा दीजिए इसमें. Thank you for motivational session. I'll try to incorporate your sayings, Dr. Barua. Vaishali Patel, such activity can satisfy our soul. Yes, soul, yes, absolutely true. Umesh Kumar. Thank you for your kindness. Manav Seva is सबसे बड़ा धर्म है. Absolutely true. And Swami Vivekananda also said that when you serve the human being, you serve the God. Okay, we have about 5 minutes left before we close the session. If there are any additional key takeaways, please put it in the chat box. If not, we can go back to the organizer, Dr. Ritesh Ji, and he can do the closing. Okay, Dr. Boro, thank you for eye-opening session as well. Yeah, and we all should become the agent of change. If we show the way to our students, motivate them to do something for others, starting with small gesture of helping those who are struggling in studies by becoming a mentor to them, that is very, very satisfying. And I've seen the benefit during my 4 years at BHU, that you develop good friendship when you extend your hand to others. It will help you a lot along with the people whom you are helping. Okay, Tishta Sen Gupta, since my PhD days, I'm sponsoring the education and healthcare of girl child in my own very limited capacity till date. So congratulations, Dr. Sen Gupta. Okay, Dr. S.R. Tandon, great. Okay. Okay, Simran Pandey, believe in goodness is the only investment that never fails. Very true. Very well said. Thank you, Professor Catherine. Appreciate your input as well. Bimal Kumar, our minds are ignited by your inspiration to serve our communities. Yeah, take it forward, whatever you have learned today. Dr. Ragini Patel, thanks for your input, informative session. Make it actionable. I think that's where the value add is. Listening to something is okay, but putting it in action, that's where the real benefit will come. So you're seeing excellent session. Dr. Ragini Patil, informative session. Thank you. Great. Okay, I guess we are approaching almost to the end. Dr. Gopal Ram, Manoj Kumar, okay, Nitul, so thank you for motivating us. You're really a great personality. No, I'm doing my bit. Thanks for your service towards humanity. Okay, Dr. Tandon has raised the hand. Please come in.
Hello, sir. Good evening. Actually,
Yeah,
my
good evening.
my question is related to my state. Actually, I'm from Chhattisgarh, and we are very rich in terms of mineral and forest. And one of the major issue of our state is Naxalism is there. So how we can connect those people in a streamline so that with the help of community service.
Yeah. So I think first you need to find out what is required to be done, and then try to find the resources through CSR.
Excuse me, sir. One issue is that the people don't want to communicate with the government also. So this is one of the major issue.
Yeah. See, I think before you reach the government, work with the NGOs, because the NGOs in your area, they could be the good resource to start. And for that, as an institute, you look for your own alumni who are placed in the industry, as well as people who are expert in the area you want to explore, and then put the small team together, do the need finding, doing the survey, and once the problem is defined, what needs to be done, then look for more resources from NGOs, from the industry, from your alumni, and then develop a very focused project where money should not be the objective. It should be your ideas and initiatives, and the labor done by students and faculty can bring in the great value. And that's what I think is needed. So it's not just in the name of community service, but you are actually solving real problem of the society and the community surrounding the institute. That's where the focus needs to be. And if you have the right focus, right energy channeled properly through alumni, through industry people, good results can be accrued, and results will come in if you are focused and work on a project basis. Like the resources I have shared, project charter, doing the regular reviews, making sure that you are focused on the timeline, get the results accomplished, whatever you have planned, set the realistic goals and achieve them. So project management discipline is extremely critical. And I want to share that in the last century, 20th century, we needed reading, writing, and arithmetic. But in the 21st century, we need 3 new disciplines, and that is teamwork, problem solving, and project management. Teamwork, problem solving, and project management. If we can be the master of that as a faculty and instill that in our students, we'll be doing a great service to get them ready to become the global contributors, because teamwork, problem solving, and project management will take them far in their career. Without that, they will be struggling. So I hope that message will help you to
Yes, sir.
stay focused. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Dr. Tandon, all the best. Okay, Nainital, so inspiring and motivating us. Great. No, thanks for the service towards humanity. It's my pleasure. And Kiran Burkar, thank you for your excellent sessions. Appreciate your comment. Any last comment before we close? And then back to Dr. Ritesh ji. Okay, let's close the chat box. Back to you, Dr. Ritesh ji. You can do the closing, and then we are done with the session here.
Sir. Thank you, sir. You enlighten us with your knowledge. You came for the second time to this program for us. So we are very grateful to you, sir.
Thank you.
From Team HRDC, as well as from the participants of FIP 16, we are all grateful to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Bipul Kumar ji. And I wish all of you well and all the best. Please take some of these messages and put something in action. And you have my email and WhatsApp number. If you do something really good for your community, your institute, do send me a message. I'll be delighted to hear some good news of excellent community service work all of you plan to do. So wish you all very well. And thank you all for the kindness and interaction. So I had fun listening to all the work you are doing. And let's continue to help India to be the best we can make it. Okay. Thank you. And
Thank you,
we'll
sir.
be signing off here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so
Bye.
much, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. Bye. All the best. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So now we are going to take a break up to 11:30. So from 11:30 to 1 p.m. there will be a session by Anuradha Shukla, Professor Anuradha Shukla, learn to deal with and manage stress among the learners. So we'll be back at 11:30. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.